The decision to sell my business didn't happen overnight. I had thought about it a little bit, and it was never something that I really intended on doing from the very beginning, but at a certain point it got to a point where the thought crossed my mind, but I didn't really know what that might look like or how that process would work. And really my first step was to reach out to Thomas at FB International just to ask him what would that look like, and then I made the decision from there. So some of the things that I was thinking about, or fears if you will, going into selling my business. Obviously, how much is it worth? What could be the going rate for this thing? Everybody has a number in their mind, and so I wanted to get an understanding of that. It was a SaaS, but there was very much a service component with it as well, and I was unsure how that might play out with a very customer support and service heavy business. Like how sellable is that? And it turned out that wasn't an issue at all. And really just, this was my first exit, so the whole process, just understanding what the process was, what I needed to prepare, what I needed to prepare myself for in terms of time investment to get the deal done. Yeah, I chose FA International because Thomas and his team were just really helpful with me with understanding the process and what to expect. I did compare other brokers. I spoke to one other broker, and after the initial consultation, both with the other one and then with Thomas, it became immediately clear to me that I was more comfortable working with Thomas's team. They were clearly much more experienced and qualified and skillful at this sort of putting these sorts of deals together. So yeah, those expectations were set very effectively, and it turned out to be a great experience all the way through. Well, one expectation that I've heard from other founders who've done exits is that the due diligence process can be pretty long and grueling, and I didn't really know what that meant exactly. So that was something that I was kind of anticipating. But even when I did go through that process, I didn't realize how intensive that could be. And then also the contract negotiations. I worked with a lawyer, I worked with Thomas and his team, and they helped kind of iron that stuff out. But having not gone through this process before, I didn't really have an understanding of what kind of deal points are acceptable or common in these sorts of deals. So yeah, again, just a lot of questions in my mind going into it. One thing that surprised me the most was the sheer speed at which we saw interest and then offers. I mean, it was literally within a week we had 3 offers for the business, and I was expecting multiple weeks of I figured that we would put it up for sale and there would be several weeks or months before we even had interest. And yeah, to my surprise, 3 offers came right in, and then we went through the process from there. The due diligence process turned out to be longer and at some points stressful, but Thomas and the team were just really helpful with me, kind of guiding me through those weeks. I would definitely recommend working with FB International if you're thinking about buying or selling, to be honest. The team is just really experienced, and really just the expertise shines through from every step of the way. For me, what I really appreciated was early on setting those expectations, and really it's uncanny looking back on it. The final result of the deal was exactly in line with the initial expectations that were set with me, and yeah, I just really appreciate that.